I didn't think it was gonna do any good. One morning I woke up, I didn't have any pain. I mean, this happened twice. Well, my wife's been fussing with back pain. So
Would you like an agenda?
I said, you know, go see the lady.
Yeah, I'm supposed to bring my house.
Sure.
So she calls her up.
Why not? Everybody else does.
They closed in 2018.
No way.
January 2018, they closed.
Oh my God. It's really frustrating, and the insurance drives.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they know.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we've had 2 epidurals, let's do a third and wait another 30 days. So then we're into the middle of, we're pushing May at
Yeah.
that point, you know, and it's like, really? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Fix it. Please fix it. It's been like this since October.
It's like they wanna spend money before you spend money.
Man, they spend a lot too.
That's what I'm saying.
Damn, they put you
Yeah.
through therapy and all that
Oh.
kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
man, they rack the bills up.
When I had my broken leg, I'd go into the orthopedic guy, nurse practitioner, she'd spend all the time, he'd come in for a minute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
$600.
Let me look at that x-ray. Nope, you're not healed yet. Another 3 weeks, no way.
it's frustrating. It really is. It's just like, it's not like it's an inconvenience. It's, everything in my life is on hold.
Right.
Everything is on hold. I mean, I'm working about 50%, I'm driving about 50%. You know, it's just.
Not losing any money on the golf course, though.
Well, that's it, yeah, okay, thanks a lot. Hey, don't talk to my wife, okay?
It's like a little brother, it's just
I don't
really-
need you talking to her.
It's just really annoying.
Let's look at the upside.
I would think she wants
Okay.
you at the house more.
He does.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and get going, it's 7:04. The agenda's in front of you, we're not gonna talk about anything else. You'll notice, just to start off with, the festival is not on there because the festival has not been approved yet by the trustees, and I'm not gonna talk about something that might not be approved.
Yeah, why waste time? Get it?
You know, so, it's coming up at the workshop tomorrow.
Are you
Bring it up.
filming this?
Yeah.
Why, can I ask?
Because the township isn't.
Is there a reason they should? I'm just
Is it
wondering.
a public meeting?
Sure.
There you
But
go.
why do you have to take it upon yourself to, you know?
Because the township isn't. I appreciate your effort, so I wouldn't have to spend my time doing that. We pay taxes for it.
Okay,
Yeah, we all do.
that's good.
I know.
We'll start with park reports. Now, first of all, I wanna kinda skip down to new business to explain some changes that have been made. There is now a park supervisor, Jason Petty, who, has worked the parks for the last 3 years during the summer and fall, spring. He is now the park supervisor, and he's got a couple people in the maintenance department working for him.
Jason was part of
Jason-
the maintenance crew.
Yes, yeah, and he still is.
Okay.
Just so everybody knows, the park department is part of the maintenance department.
Okay, well, that's,
Jason is working with me, and Steve Beutelshofer, who is like Tracy's assistant, and Tracy and Mark Homan. When we have a problem in one of the parks, it's up to him and his crew to take care of it. And as I'm gonna read here in a little bit, we do have some things that need to be fixed in the parks. Okay, we'll start with Bechtold. First of all, the 2 shelters at Bechtold. The super shelter, otherwise known as Shelter 1, or the pavilion, is going to bid this week for repairs. The beams that hold the roof up, 3 or 4 of them are starting to separate very badly. It's gonna have to be replaced.
no kidding.
Not the whole shelter, they'll
Yeah.
leave the bathrooms and the fireplace and all that. But the rest of it, for safety reasons, is gonna have to be So that's going out to bid this week, I have no idea what that's gonna cost. But Tracy's had structural engineers in to look at it to make sure it was safe. Lumen area, we actually put extra supports under it to make sure everything would be safe for that, which it was, and it was certified safe. So now the whole thing needs to be replaced. So that's gonna happen, and if you also notice shelter 2
Is
is
that
in the
because
middle
we
of
took the
construction.
lowest bid? Well, I know we took the lowest bid at one point, and then they came back and we told them, no, we're not gonna.
Well, and
Do we stay with that company?
It got, yeah, well, it had to get it repaired.
Okay, I was just curious.
And
what
that
the-
company, we can't find them with a search warrant now. So anyway, that's shelter 1. Obviously, no rentals in there until everything is taken care of. Shelter 2, the new one is being built. It's going to look just like shelter 3, which is the shelter in the middle there, back by Diamond 2, back by the brick storage building. That is at a cost, and it's already been approved and all that, of about, it's right around $80,000. That includes
Indoor shelter?
stonework and everything else, yeah, masonry work. So that's the 2 shelters at Bechtold, just so that you know what's going on. I'm gonna have the guys, if you remember, we used to have the distances marked on the walking trails. They've worn away, so we're gonna take care of that. The walking trail at Bechtold is approximately 3/10 of a mile. If you include the nature trail, it is almost a mile.
When you said that, that just the Bechtold one, or is it in all the parks now?
No.
We'll do it
Oh, no, yeah, we're gonna remark
everywhere.
the ones that have walking trails, which
Right.
will be Schuler, McDaniel, and Bechtold. We have had, the usual graffiti and stuff, so the guys are gonna, fix up the picnic tables. You noticed, the tables in the pavilion, which doesn't matter now, but were pretty badly damaged by vandals, late last summer. But that'll be taken care of when the new,
Is there any way to put some, well, I guess there's probably not, when there's people in the park at 2:00 in the morning, is there something that could light up that at the cop station that says, hey?
Motion lights.
Well, yeah, anything that says, motion sensors or something that says, somebody's in the park at 2:00 in the morning, I don't think they're out walking their dog. I'm just curious, and I'm, like I said, I'm just throwing a question out, but.
yeah, that's something that, we can look at.
They're in the process of putting cameras in.
I was just gonna say that, they're in the process of,
But nobody monitors those cameras unless something has gone wrong, then
Right,
they go back
unless there's-
after the
they're-
fact
they're-
and look
they're-
and see if they can find out who did what.
right.
So you say they're putting cameras in, I'm assuming you're referring to maintenance department?
No, it's being done by an electrical company,
Outside source.
Capital Electric, I believe is the name of
So
it.
they're just doing it pro bono?
No, I don't know the
I don't know,
cost.
but I know they're putting them in.
No, it's not pro bono. If you notice at McDaniel, especially the base for the poles are already installed. And they're gonna do that in all the parks. However, the problem is that it probably won't be ready until the summer or later, by the time they get done with everything. We're gonna paint the block building, put a new roof on it.
Which one?
The block building there by Shelter 3, the storage building.
Oh, okay.
A basketball goal.
Okay.
Yeah. And the walking trail needs to be crack sealed and stuff. It's been a while for that, so they're gonna take care of that too. So any of you guys got any questions on, Bechtel?
No.
Okay, McDaniel. Field, what I call now soccer field west, which is the smaller soccer field, which is up by the pavilion, by the concession stand.
Mhm.
You remember last year, the guys worked on the fields, they slid seeded them, they top dressed them the whole bit. Field number 1 was fine, people stayed off of it. The little one is a mess, and we're gonna have to close it for the spring to redo it because people got on it. Even though most of the time there were field closed signs on it. And a lot of it's just bare now. So I told the guy from the soccer league today, I said, I'm sorry, but we're gonna have to close field west. And that's gonna mess up their schedule a little bit, but
Can they use the baseball outfield? Make a
when
field?
baseball's not being played, which will be
Probably
most of the
baseball's
time in
pretty
the
full
spring,
up
yeah.
once that season starts.
Yeah.
So that field was unavailable last year as well,
In the fall,
just the fall?
well, in the late fall. We let them play for a while and then we closed it so that we could get seed down. Other things at McDaniel, the walking track there, which is, in case anybody wants to know, if you take the whole outer track without the part between field 15 and the batting cage, you know, that little strip that goes across, is 9/10 of a mile. That needs to be crack sealed, and we'll mark that trail also. We're gonna replace trash cans and everything else up there. There's some trees that have been damaged by windstorms. There's also one of the soccer goals was actually just picked up and destroyed by the wind. Not the last one, but the one we hit about a month ago. The walking path, I'm looking for some netting to put up around field 15 over by Duke, you know, where the fence goes out. Field 12, which is the one back in the corner, down way back. And, well, those two are the main ones. A lot of the softball people, the fast pitch softball, and some of the baseball tend to lose a lot of foul balls.
Yeah, then when not to right field.
Well,
They're
on
late.
field 15, and then on field 12, they go over, but both of them go into Duke's
Yeah.
property. Duke had told Greg last year that they were gonna put the netting up for us, but so far, no netting. Any
Are
questions?
they
You
like,
guys
are
on
they like a
15?
mean old guy or something? They're gonna keep the ball in my
Yeah,
yard, but
yeah.
keep it.
My old name.
They'll buy a dog and put it there with it.
Mike, who's Greg?
Craig Bickford.
Okay.
Schuler Park. The maintenance department has purchased some new equipment. Believe it or not,
Oh, I got a
Schuler,
question on McDaniel.
yes.
Is there an evaluation over how many fields of baseball to soccer the township has?
Not really, and baseball fields get priority in the spring and summer.
I don't understand priority.
Baseball gets priority over
Higher
soccer.
usage.
In other words, baseball, people need baseball fields in the spring and summer, they get baseball fields.
So the township has a priority of baseball over soccer.
In the fall, it's just the opposite, because soccer is basically more heavily used
I
in the
would say that's
fall.
usage based, that's who's requesting to use the
Yeah,
fields, isn't it?
exactly.
Right, yeah, that's what I was
No,
wondering.
we're not saying you can only use this or that, but,
Who wants to use it?
who, yeah, how can we sell the space, you know, it's,
I know there's a shortage of soccer fields, that's why I asked.
Well, and we were closing for the spring, we're closing, the one field at Schuler, I'm sorry, at McDaniel. The fields at Schuler, the soccer fields also during the spring, because they're very heavily used in the fall. We're gonna do some repair work to them also, because the request for soccer at Schuler in the spring is way less than it is in the fall. So, and you can't do fields, soccer fields, as we found out, when people are still using them, and expect to get a decent result. So,
So you're saying all of the soccer fields at McDaniel and Shore will be closed in the spring?
all but the one big field at McDaniel West.
So that's 3 out of 4.
Yeah, the only things that are used, the only reason the fields at Schuler are used are for games. We've all done that. Schuler's, it's been that way for 10 years since we opened Schuler. Baseball and soccer,
Only for games.
only for games.
Is that a written policy? Or just practice?
It's just our practice department.
If you think the fields are bad now, if you let everybody keep practicing and miss games, you're just gonna have big dirt patches out there, is all you're gonna have. So, I mean, you gotta give them time to basically get a heal, you know, so to speak.
Well, I'm from a cost analysis is all I was asking.
Okay, Schuler, they are, like I said, Schuler's actually 10 years old this year, and.
is it really?
Yeah.
Golly, think about that.
And they're going to be replacing some equipment up there that's been in use for 10 years and is just about worn out.
You say they,
Lawnmowers,
is maintenance, I'm assuming?
maintenance, yeah.
Are they making that decision?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that equipment under the maintenance budget or
Yeah.
parks? Yeah.
Well, parts and maintenance are
Right.
both.
Do they have a unique budget for parks versus maintenance?
Yeah, actually, the athletic field, and this is included, general repairs, athletic field, public space maintenance, general park maintenance, non-capital site improvements. They all, you know, that goes to the park, but that's not to say that none of that equipment isn't used somewhere else.
They need to mow the yard here, the mower available, they mow it here.
If they need it,
More of an
they use it.
umbrella than,
Right.
Is the revenue for like the baseball and soccer, does it go, they get credit in the budget, or is that going to general fund, and here's the budget?
It's all
for the-
general. Everything, we're not a park district, so everything that we get comes out of the general account,
The general account.
yes.
And is there a budget for parks specifically?
Yeah, the total for this this has not been approved yet, by the way. For this coming year, for non-capital site improvements, general park maintenance, general repairs, athletic field, public space maintenance, maintenance and park capital, and events.
Do you wanna?
Basically is almost $500,000,
So that's for 2019.
yes. Like I say, that has not been approved yet, it's part of the budget that's being submitted.
Right, and last year, was there a budget for 2018?
Yeah, it wasn't quite as much, I don't know the exact amount. like I said, the parks are part, accounting wise and everything, are part of the maintenance department. The only actual full-time, well, the only actual employee that's strictly parks is me, and I'm part-time. Now, there's maintenance guys that, like the park supervisor and that work strictly on parks, but they're still part of the maintenance department.
And they could be pulled.
And they do get pulled, like, for example, snow removal.
Snow
Stuff
removal.
like
They
that.
could be pulled if needed for other stuff,
Grab a
but
truck.
Oh, dude, it was great. It was great.
I hope we stop and talk to me.
So, Mike, the park supervisor, when was that position created?
I believe about, 2 months ago or so.
I guess, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just a mushroom man.
Okay, next on the agenda is Bob Meyer Park. The one thing that they are gonna do there this year, because of lack of use, about 3 years ago, they quit, they let one of the fields grow in.
Baseball?
Yes, T-ball field, basically. This year, we're gonna redo it again, so that we'll have another small field over there for baseball and young girls softball.
Is there a soccer field there?
There's a soccer field that we turn into a soccer field in the fall. When baseball ends over at Bob Meyer, we have room, and we do put in one soccer field. High Point Park,
Quick question on Bob Meyer. I went to visit, where am I supposed to park?
in the lot behind Rockburn Academy. That's Rockburn's property.
Yeah. And we're supposed to park there.
Yeah.
Because if we do, we're gonna get towed.
No, you're not.
They have signs up.
I don't know of one car in 23 years that's ever been towed out of there.
Well, they have signs up that say, you park here, and you're not going there, you're getting towed.
Then